everybody, it's Emily at ARG Schooling, and today we're going to be doing a book haul. I have bought a lot of things this month, and I need to do this because I really need to put them away. Like, I've had books just stacking up around me, and it's getting to be annoying, so let's just get this haul underway and I'll show you what I have purchased. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with pre-orders, things that I pre-ordered. Let's do that. The first book I want to show you that I pre-ordered in May is, and these are not in order of when they came out at all, but this is Warrior Girl Unearthed by Angeline Boulley. I really liked The Firekeeper's Daughter, so I've been looking forward to reading more of her writing, so I have had this pre-ordered for a little while. This is a heist story, I think, or there's like a heist element in it. I don't know. That is definitely something that caught my eye though when I was looking up like what was it going to be about. I honestly don't really know too much more than that because I just really want to read it and see what I think without like knowing a lot, because I know her books, at least for Firekeeper's Daughter, there's sort of like a mystery element, so I don't want to read too much into what it's going to be about. I also pre-ordered The Marriage Box. This is by Corey Ajmi. I believe this is historical. This is set, I want to say, in the 1970s. So it's about a Middle Eastern Jewish teenager in the 70s living in New Orleans, and they get into trouble and their family decides it's time for a move, and they go and live in Brooklyn, New York City, and join like a very orthodox synagogue, and like it's a very different lifestyle. And I just find that intriguing. That premise is really interesting to me. HarperCollins kindly sent me a copy of this to review. It's The Witch of Woodland by Laurel Snyder. And I was so excited that they were asking if I would be interested, and yes, this is definitely up my alley. This is a middle grade fiction story about a girl preparing for her bat mitzvah. So she's right around 13, and I think she's either discovering she has magical powers or she already knew she had them, but like they're coming into being now that she's 13. Yeah, so she's always known she was a witch, and she's conjured something. Yeah, so she's conjured up like a ghostly person, and that's the story. I don't really know. I just really want to read this. It just sounds like it's going to be really cute, and I am obsessed with this cover. Like, this is just... Next pre-order I have is You, the Story by Ruta Sepetys. I have been collecting her books, honestly. Ruta Sepetys is one of my favorite authors. Her writing is just so good. And I was so intrigued because this is a book about writing. It's like a how-to manual kind of for like being creative and telling your story, and I just thought that's so clever and great, and I want it. I want to give this to my youngest because I feel like it would be beneficial for her. She likes writing stories, and I don't know, I don't know if we're going to do this together. I mean, I'm going to read it, but we might read it together. I haven't decided yet, but I just think that's really cool. And she's got like writing prompts in here and ideas for like how to use different tools and things to write a good story. So I'm just excited about it. Another book I'm very excited about is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. This is one that is getting all of the buzz right now, and I am so excited to read it and see what I think because I feel like this has a lot of potential to be great. I really like The Poppy War, and I've been wanting to read the rest of that series. Someday I'm gonna, but I'm probably gonna get to this first if I'm being honest. This is a contemporary story, and this is a story about two authors. One of them is Asian, one of them is not, and the white woman author like steals the Asian woman's identity, I think, or something along those lines, and like writes her story. I'm so intrigued. I've heard nothing but good things so far, so I'm looking forward to that. This next book I only heard about fairly recently, like right before it came out. So I pre-ordered it, but like maybe like 2 weeks before it was released. And I was just so excited about it because this is a book that I have like wished for years. Like, why has this not been written? And maybe it has, and I just was unaware of it. But this is the first time I've seen it. and that is The Last Journals of Sacagawea by Deborah Magpie Erling. And this, I've always wondered, like, I've always seen Lewis and Clark books, and there's not really anywhere that I've seen, like, Sacagawea telling her version of the story, and I've been wanting that. And so that's what this is, and it's literally her journal entries. So it's written in, what is the word I want? Epistolary fashion, and so you're getting like her journal entries as they're traveling. I am excited. It's also written by an Indigenous author, so I'm really excited to read this. And the last book I pre-ordered is The Collected Regrets of Clover by Mickey Brammer, another one that just has a stunning book cover. Like, this is beautiful. I was drawn to this book because it's a story about a woman who works with like hospice patients. I think she's like a hospice nurse. She works with people who are dying and spends a lot of time amongst the dying, and she's starting to realize that she's done this for so long, she's not really living her own life. And so I think it says, what's the point of giving someone a beautiful death if you can't give yourself a beautiful life? So I don't know, I'm always drawn to stories about death and dying and that sort of thing, but also the other side of like living a good life, and I don't know. I think this has potential to be amazing, so I'm hopeful. Let's talk about the things I've got in my level 10 pile, which just keeps growing. I keep finding things and adding them to my stack. Am I gonna get to all of them? Are they all gonna be in the level? Not likely, but I'm gonna review and look at them anyway. The first one I want to talk about is The Tiger at Midnight. This is by Swati Teerdala, and I already had a book, but then I was like, well, this one sounds really good too. And I don't know which one I want. So I bought this. This is a book based on Hindu mythology, and that's all I really know right now. I was looking because I'm like, well, surely there are some other things. So I found this, and I'm gonna read both of them and see which one I like better, I think. So I don't know. They both sound like they have potential. I don't even know where the other one is right now. I was gonna hold up what I had, but it's missing. So this is, I think you're following two characters, one who is a skilled assassin and one who is a trained soldier. And I don't know more than that, honestly. Besides that it's Hindu mythology, it is YA, it had really good reviews. So I bought these 3 books, like all at the same time. One of the things in level 10 that I'm kind of playing with is the nature art. And at this moment in time, well, not at this moment in time because I've already been playing with it, but like before it was just like journaling. And then I started thinking, like, what if I added some like books about naturalists or books about people loving nature, that sort of thing. So I kind of swapped around. So like if you've used level 10 in the past, the Curious Naturalist was part of the biology, but I've switched it to be part of the nature journaling and added some like nature journaling assignments to go with it. And so I wanted to add something else. So I have these 3 books, and I don't know which one I'm going to use because I haven't read any of them yet, but they all have potential. So I have How I Became a Tree. This is by Sumana Roy, and this is a like memoir in the same vein as like Braiding Sweetgrass, I think, but this is about this person's experience working in nature. I don't know details. I literally was searching for books about people writing memoirs about nature and how it's affected their lives and that sort of thing. So I have this one. I have The Home Place. This is Memoirs of a Colored Man's Love Affair with Nature. J. Drew Lanham is the author. And I love this whole, I want to collect all these books because they all sound so amazing. And then I have World of Wonders in Praise of Fireflies, Whale Sharks, and Other Astonishments by, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name. I want to look up how to pronounce this author's name. Hold on. I can do it.
Amy Nezuko-Matadel.
Nezuko-Matadel. Okay. By Amy Nezuko-Matadel. I did it. Okay. So So again, like I have all of these books about like people being in love with the natural world and studying nature, and that is just a thing that I love. So I want to try to read hopefully all 3 of them and see which one I think would be a best fit in the level 10 nature art section. Another book I bought, again, on a whim, because I saw it in my feed. Like, I don't even remember who shared it or where I saw it, but I went, I need it. And that is Femina, A New History of the Middle Ages Through the Women Written Out of It. And this is by Janina Ramirez. And I just love this concept, and I want more things like it, where we get to hear the voices of the underrepresented people and like the people who were living in that time who were either erased or dismissed. And in this case, it's the women who were written out of it. And I'm excited to read this, and it looks really readable. Like, I flipped through it a little bit. I was nervous that it was going to be really dense, but this looks like a really readable book. And like, there's some pictures, nothing crazy, like no full color illustrations or anything, but there's like some artwork included. But I just feel like this could have potential. I don't know. I want to read it and see what I think. And then this last one I picked up because I wanted more African history. I've been using the Black History book, which is somewhere in my pile here, by DK, and I wanted to find something else to add to that. And I don't know, this might be a little bit young, but I was trying to find something like this, and that is African Icons, 10 People Who Shaped History by Tracy Baptiste. I've read Tracy Baptiste before and I enjoy her work, so I wanted to see if this was something that might be a good fit. And I'm really excited because for the most part it fits really well into level 10 time period wise. It's got full color illustrations. They're like little biographies. Nope, that's not a picture. Here you go. So like, it's illustrated, but it's still like a lot of text too. So like, I don't know, I need to read and see if I think this will make sense in level 10, but I'm hopeful. So those are the things I've collected for that purpose. Let's move on to another stack. One of these days I'm gonna write a Holocaust unit study, but like, it's a big topic for me. It's like one of those things where I have like too much passion and I don't like any of the materials. Like, I can't find a spine that works for me. Like, there isn't a good one that would work for multiple levels. I don't know. I'm very picky. And I'm also very picky about the books that I would want to include. And so I want to do some more reading and do some more research and see what I can find. But I did buy a couple things because I'm always collecting things for this purpose, because like someday I'm going to have the time to devote to this unit and give it what I think it needs. But until then, I'll just collect. And so I have 2 books that I bought for that. The first one is Questions I'm Asked About the Holocaust, a Young Reader's Edition. And this is by Heidi Fried. I've not seen the adult version of this. I should probably get that too, but for now I have the Young Reader's Edition, which is also just a lovely book. It's one of those like hardcovers without a dust jacket, which I always enjoy. And so this one is, I would say, probably middle grade level, but I haven't read it yet. So, but it's got a lot of illustrations. It has potential. I'm always looking for like things that are written by people who experienced it, or that are written by like their family members. So like based on their grandmother's memories or an aunt's or something like that. And always written by Jews. This one I bought because I just think it would be really interesting for my research anyway. I don't know who I would give this to, but it's called In the Midst of Civilized Europe, the 1918 to 1921 Pogroms in Ukraine and the Onset of the Holocaust. And this is by who? Jeffrey Wiedlinger. And I think this would be important to like at least include in some capacity in the study of the Holocaust. Like, not necessarily this whole book, because if you're working with children, like, this is dense. But the idea that like World War II wasn't the start of anti-Semitism, like it was there already. Things had been building for a long time. So I want to read that. and see like what, I don't know what I'm doing with it though, but I want to read it for my own knowledge. Let's go to my Nightworms. I got my Nightworms packaged earlier in May, and again, don't remember the theme. I'm so bad at this because I always put the bookmarks away and the bookmark has a theme on it. Anyway, Nightworms is a horror subscription service. You get 2 books a month, and I just like getting curated horror because I just generally don't know what to pick up. There's so much, and I don't know what to look for. And I also appreciate that it's a woman-owned business, and Sadie and Ashley are great. I follow them both online, and I just think that it's a really cool subscription. So I got 2 books this month. I have The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Khaw. I've never read any of her things. I think this is her 2nd book, perhaps. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure she writes mostly novellas. So I'm looking forward to trying this and seeing what I think. I've only heard like a couple people mention it. And I think it's like you either love it or you don't. I hope I like it. I don't know. I don't even know what it is, honestly. And then the other book I have is one I'm excited about. This is The Haunting of Alejandra by V. Castro. I've been wanting to read something by V. Castro. I have, I think, 2 of her books, at least. I'm pretty sure that I have 2 of her books. And I have just been intrigued by all of them. This is one about a woman haunted by the Mexican folk demon La Llorona. That's all I know. It's a haunting story. And I'm intrigued. And also, it is absolutely beautiful. The book covers this year have been just a lot. They're so pretty. And there's so many really beautiful ones. Okay, let's go to the next pile. This is things that I bought with my youngest in mind. Or, no, I guess they're all things I bought with my youngest in mind. I don't know what I'm doing with this. This first one is like, I didn't know what pile to put it in. Escape this book. This is about the Titanic. I don't know. I've been debating doing a Titanic unit study. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but this is like an activity book about the Titanic. And I think there's other books in the series, but like it's a consumable like activity book you can do while you're learning about a subject. I think, yeah, they have one on Egypt. They have another one about going to the moon. So I was intrigued, so I picked this one up. I'm probably just going to hand it to my daughter and be like, here, have fun. But I don't know if I'm going to get around to doing something with this or if it's just, I just wanted to see it in person. Then I got her a new Nathan Hale's Hazardous Tales book because she's really into these, and we're coming up on that time period in history. If we get that far, I don't know if we're going to make it past World War II, honestly. We just got to World War II, and it's like the end of the year, so we're probably not actually going to get to this, but she'll probably still read it because she likes it. This one is Cold War Correspondent. She just really enjoys the format of these. She finds the whole, like, executioner and soldier talking to him just hysterical throughout the book, and they're fun, and you sneak in some learning. I snagged these for her. I don't know when we're going to get to this, if I'm going to read them to her or if she's just going to read them on her own. I honestly saw this book first and immediately was like, oh, she needs this, and then realized it was the 2nd book. So I bought the first one. This is, I believe it's going to be a trilogy of portal fiction based on indigenous mythology. So this first book is The Barren Grounds by David A. Robertson. And it's book 1 of the Misuwa saga, and then book 2 is The Great Bear. I don't think book 3 is out yet, or I probably would have bought it. But I don't know. I love portal fantasy. I love that so much. I think the fact that it's about indigenous mythology, it sounds amazing. But she loves bears. So I saw there was a book called The Great Bear and had this amazing bear on the cover. I was like, oh, she needs that. Even better that it fits with like what we've been studying this year. Then this is something I bought for next year. We've been using their American history book this year and kind of bouncing back and forth between different books, but like really enjoying our time with this. And so I wanted to get the world history one. This is How to Survive Middle School World History. And I don't know. I thought it was a really solid resource to use and pop in and out of as we were studying US history. So I wanted to grab this because she keeps like throwing me off my game here, because I had a plan. We were going to do level 9 next year, but she's all of a sudden really interested in doing level 8 and doing the history of science. And I'm like, I can totally make that high school. Like it works as a high school level, but that's not what I was planning. So anyway, we're probably going to be doing that next year instead. I really liked the resource, so I wanted to use this again with that. And one of the things that I really like about it is that there's a section in the back about like important things to know about historians and how history is studied. So it has a lot of stuff in here about like primary sources and how to tell when something's a reliable source and like detecting bias. So I really, really like the fact that that is included in here and that it's a really good like history source. So probably going to use that. This is another one I bought literally on a whim. I just saw someone had it in their stories. Again, don't know who, because I'm very bad at paying attention to that when you're just flipping through Instagram. But this is called Two Truths and a Lie, and it's unbelievable truths about the living world with a few outright lies hidden among them. Can you spot the fakes from the facts? And I don't know, we're probably going to go over this over the summer. I always say we're going to do things over the summer. Do we? Not always, but in theory, this would be a great like summer read. And it's exactly what it says it is. You get like a chapter where it gives you a couple different stories. You get a story A, B, and C, and you have to detect which story is accurate and which is the lie. And so it's very colorful, very fun looking. So we'll see if we actually get to it, but I hope so. Last pile, or almost there. These are things that I just bought for me, for fun, for whatever. Doesn't really have a purpose. The first one is The Last Russian Doll by Kristen Loesch. This has been on my radar for a little while, and I bought it on Independent Bookstore Day. And I don't remember what this is, besides that it has to do with the Russian Revolution. But I don't remember what specifically about it. And then I have Nightcrawling. This one I got as the blind date with a book. I've never bought one of those before because I'm always afraid that it's something I already own. But I don't remember what it was now, but the blurb that they put on the book, the cover, I don't know, it was just so weird, and I was like, well, I have no idea what that is, so let me take the risk. I've never heard of this book. We'll see what I think of it if I get around to reading it. I hope I do, because I'm really bad about like buying things and then just like putting them on the shelf, never to be seen again. Next, I finally bought this book. I had been wanting to get a copy of this for ages, and it was one of those things where like, I don't need it. I'll get it from the library. But the library has a hold list that is so long, it is comical. So I'm like, never mind that. I'm never going to get a hold of it that way. But it was always so expensive, and I just like, I don't need it right now. So I finally bought it. The price dropped. I think it was on sale for like $18, and I went, got it. So this is just one of those books that everybody and their grandma has read and loved, and I would like to read it someday. So I think it has to do with like a woman scientist in, I don't know, the 50s or 60s on a TV like reality show or a cooking show or something like that. I don't even know. But I was like, I want to read it someday. Everyone talks about it and I want it. I had FOMO. Okay, and then we went to a library book sale, and this last 4 books came from that. I grabbed these. I got them for Regina, but she was like, ugh, I guess they look babyish to her. I was intrigued because this is a middle grade fantasy series. Like, they're talking animals, and it's a murder mystery, a middle grade murder mystery. I had to have this. And there was 2 of them. I don't know if there's more than this in the series, but this is what they had. So I grabbed them both because it's so cute. Like, the covers are adorable. And for anybody who is doing the Build Your Library Reading Challenge, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Will it focus? It will not focus, but there are mushrooms right there. There's mushrooms on the book here, so, you know. Oh, they're on the cover too. I don't know what I'm doing. I just noticed them on the spine. But there are mushrooms on this one. So, this is Shady Hollow, and this one is Cold Clay, and they're by Juno Black, and they're murder mysteries for children. Like, how adorable. Then I got a copy of The Echo Wife. This is by Sarah Gailey. Another one I've just been wanting to read for a while, but didn't want to pay full price because it's short and I don't know if I'm going to like it. So when I saw they had it at the library sale for like $3, I grabbed it. And then the last book I got, In the Company of the Courtesan. This is by Sarah Dunant. And one of my favorite movies of all time is A Dangerous Beauty. And it's about a woman who is a courtesan. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It came out in the 90s. Rufus Sewell is in it, and he is dreamy. But I love that movie so much. And I don't think this is based on that. I don't think this has anything to do with that, except that it's a similar topic. But this is about Renaissance Italy in the 1500s and courtesans. Wouldn't it be funny if this was the book that movie was based on? I don't think it is. But I wanted more of that because that is such a good movie. Very underrated film for anyone who's curious. But anyway, that's what I got. So I have, like I said, a lot of things that I acquired this month, but most of them for a purpose. Like, I don't know. I was trying so hard not to just like go crazy and buy all of the things, and then I still bought a lot of things. It's what I do, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm just gonna swing it like this, because this isn't even the whole stack, but it's most of the stack. The rest of it's on the other side of me, and it's a lot more up that way. So if I just go like this, actually, hold on. There. So I think this was like 30-something books, right? 30 books exactly. So that was it. 30 books that I bought in the month of May. Let me know if there's anything that I talked about today that you think I should prioritize, that you're excited to know more about. I don't know. I want to read everything. We'll see what I actually get to. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Happy reading. Bye.